Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. As you guys can see for the title today, I am doing hopefully a quick overview, my thoughts on the two latest palettes from Juvia's Place, the Bronzed Rustic and the Blushed Rose. These are two palettes that I've been playing around with now for the last 2 weeks. There has been other palettes that have gotten priority, other videos have gotten priority. So I'm finally coming back to you guys on my thoughts on these. I've used these, I've played around with them. I'm also sharing with you guys a quick demo of this look using not one, but both of these palettes together. Surprise, surprise. So that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a Dash Project pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now let's move on with this review. Alrighty, you guys, so these were not announced. As you guys know, Juvia's Place tends to not announce, not really give us a preview, and if they do, hours later the palette is live and then they bring it back. Like, you get a few hours to get it and then they officially launch the product. So this is what happened with these. I originally bought the Bronze Rustic first, was playing around with it, and then all of a sudden this one was released. So of course I wanted to see how these two are. They both did not seem to have any pressed glitters, so I was hoping and crossing my fingers that was the case. So I'll let you guys know. I'm sure you guys have seen other reviews. I've done swatches of these two, both palettes together on my Instagram. So if you're interested in seeing up close swatches of them, if in this video it doesn't really suit you that well, I have those in my Instagram as well. So, like I mentioned, these are their two latest palettes. I tend to like Juvia's Place for two reasons. One, their color stories. I really enjoy most of them. I'm not so much of a fan of Juvia's Place's mattes, but I do like overall their palettes, and that's why I don't mind getting their releases, because they're not breaking the bank and I get to try new things. And sometimes I have found that other indie brands have the same quality but like charge double the amount. So that's another reason why I like Juvia's Place as it is. They're quick with their shipping for me. Juvia's Place's headquarters is 2.5 hours away from where I live, so I can literally drive up to their headquarters if I want. They're based out of Jersey, so their shipping is rather quick and cheap for me because we live in the same state basically. So I got these rather quickly, nice and packed, nothing wrong with them. Each of these palettes is $14 a piece. You can use a affiliate code for 10% off. I always encourage you guys to wait for a sale. I called it last time and I'm gonna call it again now. You could probably get these for $7 a pop. You can probably get both of them for $14, and I wouldn't be surprised if they bundle these together to get them together. So I'm going to start out with the Bronzed Rustic one first, because that is the one that I got first. Now this one is a selection of bronze, versatile, and rustic shades that can be worn any day. So this is what the palette looks like here. This is a summer dream. For me, this is a great summer palette. I feel like if you're a medium to deep dark skin tones, this is gonna look so good. The deeper your skin tone is, I think the better this is gonna look. I really like this color story. The main reason why I like it is because it's only 6 shades. I feel like a palette like this doesn't need to be more than 6 shades. I really do think that this is a good one. So I've been playing around with this one. I used all the shades. This is like a red orange, a gorgeous blush if you are deep dark. If you use this as a blush, it's great. I really like it. There is no pressed glitters in this, which is awesome. These two shimmers are wonderful. This one kind of has like a shift to it. It's odd. It's a bronze, but with a red gold hue to it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it's not just a brown bronze, and it's not a red. And it does have gold, like it's not flakes and it's not shimmer like glitter, but it's in there and it looks beautiful on the eyes. I love the quality of their shimmers, so these are great. I will say this one right here is a gorgeous shade. I really like it. Out of all the mattes, you're getting 4 mattes and 2 shimmers in this one. Out of all the mattes, this one is a really good quality. This is, how do I describe it? This is the matte I wish Juvia's Place had. It's not dry. It's nice and smooth, pigmented, shows up on the face. Like, I mean, this is by far my favorite one out of all the mattes in here. I wish that all their mattes were like this. It's just, it's a different, you could feel it and you can see it when you apply it on the eyes. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with this palette. I feel like you can get a few looks with it. It's not all just bronzy brown. This makes it go a different way. This shadow makes it go a completely different way. And this one tones it down or keeps it leveled in if you don't want to go too bright. So I really like this one. If I personally were to choose a brown palette, this is something I would choose because it's not all browns and it's not a huge palette of poop browns. It's nice compact size. You're getting enough to have a variety, but not too much where you're like, what do I do with myself? And you get that red orange that really makes a pop on the face. So yes, I like this one. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I do notice that on the back, it does say shadow 2, which is right here, and shadow 6, which is right here, are pressed pigments, and the rest are all eyeshadows. That's what it states on the back, so it's a little bit of a different formula, those two versus the other 4. Now, the other one they came out with was a blushed rose. Now, I typically stay away from mauve palettes or pinky mauves because I feel like I have those over and over and over in my collection constantly. But this one really drew me in because it's not really mauves. Like, I don't know, there's something about this that just really drew me in. Again, you're getting the 2 shimmers with 4 mattes in there. No pressed glitters. Thank you, Juvia's Place, for stopping the pressed glitters. Here, you're getting the same concept. Number 4, which is this shadow right here, is the only one that is not a pressed pigment. The rest are claiming to be pressed pigments. And this one is the star of the show in this palette, in my opinion. This one is like a sheer topper, but with more of a base. It just has this glisten and it just brings your eye look to a whole nother level. By far, my favorite shadow in the whole entire palette. I love this shade. And it doesn't pull too pink or too icy for me not to like it. I'm wearing it on my eyes today, mixed with another one. I'll show you guys a demo because I loved how it looked. I haven't used this shade alone. I've used this shade to constantly mix with this one, mix with the shimmers in this one, and every single time I mix shades, it looks stunning. I love it. Now with this palette, I feel like this one right here is just as soft and velvety to the touch as the one I shared with you guys in the first palette, in the Rustic one. It's like this smooth velvety, it's not dry, it's really, really nice. I enjoy it. The reason why I like this one more than any mauves is because it's not really mauves and it's not really pinks, but you're getting this orangey, pinky shadow. This is nice. This has like an orangey yellow shift, and when you put this one on top, you're getting this pinky orangey shift to the eye. Loved it. I love putting these two shimmers together on the eyelids. I love it. You guys know I love mixing my stuff. So I personally don't like them alone. I like them more together than anything. So I really, really enjoyed this one too. There was no duds in here. Again, I am impressed. I really am impressed by these. I missed out on the collab palettes because they just kept releasing too much for me to keep up with. So I never got the 4-pan palettes that they came out with, the burgundy one and the blue one. But I'm assuming the mattes are what I feel like were in here. Those smooth, creamy kind. They should have kept that and continued with that formula going on with all of their mattes. But I am happy to say that they are in both of these. Now, the one thing I will mention, because I know a lot of you probably are looking at these 2 palettes thinking, well, they both, I just gouged an eyeshadow. Give me a moment. Okay, I fixed it. So, as you're looking at both of these, you're probably thinking this shadow right here and this one right here might look the same on your lids. They are a dark brown, but I promise you they're not. See, this one's also that creamy smoothing one, like this one. I don't know, there's something about these mattes that are just totally different from what I'm used to, that dryness. These are actually pretty good. So the Rustic one, as you guys can see, it's warmer and it has more of an orangey undertone to it. And when I swatch, these mattes, let me tell you, they did such a good job with these mattes. Look how smooth that is. This one is from the Blushed Rose. You could see that this Blushed Rose one has more of a red pink tone to it versus the one in the Rustic shadow right here. So this is from the Bronze Rustic. This is from the Blushed Rose. They look similar when you're holding them up, but they're actually not at all. And they don't show up like that on the lids either. They're actually totally different on the lid. So I don't feel like there is any repeats in either one of these two. So if you want to get both, I say go for it. They both can give you two different looks where you're not going to feel like you're overlapping in these shadows. Can you dupe these both? Absolutely. I'm telling you, anything nowadays on the market, basically you can dupe. So if you're wondering if you could dupe it, absolutely. You can pull out shadows, single shadows. You can even pull out some Juvia's Place and come out with the similarities to them. You don't necessarily need these. I'm not encouraging you to go out and run and get them. But I know a few of you have been on the fence and wondering if these are worth it. These I'm impressed with. Let me tell you, these mattes are pretty darn good. And these shimmers, please, Juvia's Place, continue with these because I really, really like these. Look at this. I really am impressed. Like, they're going back to their roots when their shimmers were really, really good. Look, I just wiped that off and it's like staining my hand. Normally it'll wipe off, and look at that. I'm going to share with you guys the eyeshadow look I did today. And unfortunately, these don't have names on them, so I'm just going to tell you from one. They named these on the back. So they're naming these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what I'm going to do when I explain this demo to you guys. So I started out with the Blush Rose palette. And the first shadow I picked up on here was the #1 shadow, I believe. I put that in the inner corner, up a little bit into my crease, just to give myself a little bit of pink on the inner part of my shadow. And then I went in with the Bronze Rustic, and I went in with the shade #6, which is my favorite matte in this palette. Went into the crease. You guys can see how pigmented it is. I had to be very careful. And then brought it down a little bit on my outer V. I went back into the Blush Rose. I went in with the #6 one, the dark chocolatey red undertone brown. Brought that on my outer V, and then I brought it into my crease to kind of blend everything together. And you guys, it is stunning. Then I got a mixture of the Bronze Rustic shade in #3, which is that true yellow bronze, and mixed it with my favorite shade in the Blushed Rose, which is #4. Topped it right on top, and that is what you're getting on my lids. Love that shadow from the Blushed Rose one, you guys. And then for the lower lash line, what I did is I went in again with the Bronze Rustic #6 shadow, and I just diffused it on my lower lash line. Put lashes on and the rest of my face, and that is it. At this point, as I am filming this video, I've been wearing this eye look now for 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours, you guys. And so far, I have no creasing on my lids. I have no fading on my lids. I have not touched up a thing. Nothing on my face I've touched up. Nothing on my eyes have I touched up. And I gotta tell you, it still looks beautiful. The one drawback I will tell you about my favorite shade. This one is awesome. It's amazing. It looks great on your, look at that. I just love the shade. The one drawback I will say, because it has like this sparkle effect to it, be careful if you don't wet it or use a glitter glue, or you're using too much of it at once. I would highly recommend using a little bit at a time, because you will get fallout all over the face. Like, I can see the fallout here if I look close on my face. But if I were to go like this and just put it in gently, I don't think I would see as much fallout on it. But I will recommend using a glitter glue, or try to dust off as much as you can before you go in with it, because that's the only shade in the whole entire 2 palettes that I have here that I felt like I saw some glisten. The other one that maybe may do that to you guys is this one right here in the Bronze Rustic. It's kind of like the similar formula to it, but it doesn't have the glisten that this one has. Can you see that metalliciness that that one from the Blushed Rose has? This one, I used it as well, but I didn't see as much fallout from it as I did with the Blushed Rose shade. It's the only drawback I will mention, just in case, if you are absolutely wanting it for that shade, you will get a little bit of fallout. I see it like around here, but it's like sparkles, like very minimal sparkles. It's not like all up in there where you're like, you can see me from afar that I have glitter under my eyes. No, it's not that bad, but I do notice it, and I know some people are very particular with that, so I just wanted to mention that. Let's wrap it up, shall we, you guys? Because I try to be as quick as possible as I possibly could. These two, awesome. If Juvia's Place continues with these, oh my goodness gracious, I love these. The quality of these is so much better than some of the ones that I have that are drier, that are a lot more flaky, that are kind of like that formula where it's just a dry paper and it doesn't stick to your eye and you're having a hard time and it just blows away whenever you blend it out. Not these. Not these. Love the fact that they're coming out with smaller pans now, like the smaller pans, smaller curated palettes. These are really good. I am impressed. I love these. I definitely can see myself using both of these. And I feel like even with this one, if you are on the deeper spectrum, I don't feel like you can't use this one because it does grind. It gives you those depths that you want, but it's not super light. And if you are fair, very porcelain fair, you got to have a light hand with these because these are dark shades and pigmented shades and they might be overpowering for your own skin. But I feel like if you're dark, you're deep, I think you can get away with using these and they'll show up on your face. And the best part is, you guys know you can multitask. These could be used as blushes. So you have a few blushes on here, a few highlighters. If you're a little bit darker and deeper, you like that pink shininess, I think that would be great. Same thing with this one. You can use this as a contour, as a bronzer. This one, if you're very fair skin, you know what I mean? Like, you can multitask these. So I think that these are a hit. I really do. I haven't been as excited for a Juvia's Place palette like this since the Wahala palette. That one gave me good quality. And it's been a while, you guys. It's been a while, and I'm very, very impressed with these. So yeah, wait for a sale, you guys. I can almost guarantee you're going to get these 2 for $14 at a bundle, or maybe even half off of one if you just want the one. They are very, very good. I'm very, very impressed. I really like them, and for the last 2 weeks, I have been enjoying using them a ton. So that's it, you guys. That is my whole entire quick, hopefully it was quick, I'll see when I edit this, review on these two palettes. I will link them down in the description box if you are interested, and there's a plenty of affiliate codes out there if you're going to go straight through Juvia's Place's website. If not, I'm pretty sure Ulta will have them as well. You can use your Ulta points and get them for 20% off, because I'm sure you can use that 20% off of drugstore makeup. So that's another option for you. All right, you guys, that's it. I will have everything in the description box. If I missed anything, you'll see it down there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put more videos over here for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.